home. Please check my ID before proceeding.
I said step out. You're being detained for vehicle theft and resisting arrest.
I am Judge Patricia Williams, a federal judge. Please verify.
She reached for her briefcase on the passenger seat and prepared to step out of her vehicle when she heard a sharp sound behind her, a car door slamming shut. Officer William Thompson had been on the police force for 8 years. His personnel file would later reveal a troubling pattern of complaints, many involving black motorists. But on that Tuesday afternoon, he was about to make a decision that would permanently change both his life and the life of Judge Patricia Williams. Thompson approached her vehicle with one hand resting on his service weapon. His expression was stern, alert, and suspicious. Judge Williams rolled down her window, expecting a routine interaction, perhaps a polite greeting or a simple question about the neighborhood. Instead, she was met with an aggressive demand for her driver's license and registration, delivered in a tone that immediately put her on edge. Judge Williams calmly asked why she was being stopped, explaining that she had simply pulled into her own driveway. Thompson responded by claiming that her vehicle matched the description of a stolen car recently reported in the area. Legal experts would later describe this explanation as a textbook example of racial profiling. When Judge Williams calmly explained that the car was hers and gestured toward the house just a few feet away, Thompson's demeanor grew more hostile. He accused her of being evasive and ordered her to step out of the vehicle immediately. At that moment, Judge Williams made a decision that would shape everything that followed. Rather than becoming confrontational, she remained calm and compliant. Years of courtroom experience had taught her that composure in moments of tension could mean the difference between resolution and disaster. She exited the vehicle slowly, keeping her hands visible at all times. She calmly repeated that this was her car and her home, and requested that Officer Thompson verify the license plate against the stolen vehicle report he claimed to be investigating. Instead of de-escalating the situation, this reasonable request appeared to anger him further. Thompson ordered her to put her hands behind her back and reach for his handcuffs. Judge Williams asked what crime she was being arrested for. His answer would later become a central piece of evidence in a federal civil rights lawsuit. Officer Thompson told her she was being arrested for vehicle theft and resisting arrest, despite the fact that she had been fully cooperative throughout the encounter. As he placed the handcuffs on her wrists, Judge Williams calmly stated her name, identified herself as a federal judge, and requested that he verify her identity before proceeding. Thompson either did not hear her or chose to ignore her words. He guided her to the back of his patrol car. Her briefcase, containing court documents that would have immediately confirmed her identity, remained on the ground beside her Mercedes. Her judicial identification card was still inside her purse, which remained in the vehicle. As she sat in the back of the patrol car, Judge Williams remained remarkably composed. She had spent her career working alongside law enforcement officers, both exemplary and flawed. She understood the system and knew the situation was spiraling based on assumptions rather than facts. What she did not yet know was that multiple neighbors had witnessed the entire incident and were already making phone calls. Mrs. Eleanor Davis, who lived directly across the street, had been watering her garden when she saw the patrol car pulling behind Judge Williams' vehicle. She watched the encounter unfold and immediately sensed that something was wrong. Having lived in the neighborhood for more than 20 years, she knew Judge Williams personally and was aware of her position. Mrs. Davis called her husband, a retired attorney, and described what she was seeing. He instructed her to begin recording and to contact the police department immediately to report what appeared to be a case of mistaken identity. By the time she raised her phone, Judge Williams was already seated in the back of the patrol car. Another neighbor, James Mitchell, was walking his dog when he noticed the commotion. He recognized Judge Williams immediately. His own brother had appeared before her in a civil case 2 years earlier. Mitchell cautiously approached and attempted to explain to Officer Thompson that the woman he had detained was a federal judge who lived in the home right there. Thompson dismissed him and ordered him to step back, stating that he was following procedure based on a stolen vehicle report. When Mitchell persisted, Thompson threatened to arrest him for interfering with a police investigation. Officer Thompson then radioed for backup, claiming he had arrested a suspect in a vehicle theft case who was now falsely claiming to be a federal judge. His tone suggested he believed the claim was an elaborate lie. Within minutes, 2 additional patrol cars arrived, their flashing lights drawing more neighbors out of their homes. Judge Williams remained detained in the patrol car for nearly 20 minutes. The handcuffs dug into her wrists as neighbors watched the humiliating spectacle. Though she had presided over cases involving police misconduct, experiencing it firsthand was profoundly different. The feeling of powerlessness would remain with her long after the incident ended. When backup officers arrived, they appeared confused. Officer Sarah Martinez, a 12-year veteran of the force, immediately sensed something was wrong. She requested a briefing from Thompson, whose explanation was inconsistent and vague. Martinez approached the patrol car and saw a well-dressed, composed woman who did not resemble a car theft suspect. Judge Williams calmly repeated her name and position. This time, someone listened. Officer Martinez advised Thompson that they should verify the woman's identity before proceeding further. She warned that if the detainee truly was a federal judge, the consequences could be severe. Thompson insisted the woman was lying and stated that criminals often fabricate stories to avoid arrest. He insisted on taking her to the station. That was when Mrs. Davis approached Officer Martinez with her phone, introducing herself as Judge Williams' neighbor. She explained that the woman in the patrol car was Judge Patricia Williams and offered video evidence and witness confirmation. Officer Martinez immediately contacted dispatch to verify Judge Williams' identity. Minutes later, dispatch confirmed that Judge Patricia Williams was indeed a sitting federal judge. Rather than apologizing, Thompson became defensive. He claimed Judge Williams should have identified herself sooner and insisted he had followed proper protocol. Officer Martinez knew better. The dash cam footage told a different story. After 35 minutes of detention, Judge Williams was released. As the handcuffs were removed, red marks were visible on her wrists. She remained composed, thanked Officer Martinez, and requested the names and badge numbers of all officers involved. Officer Thompson made one final, costly mistake. He suggested that the incident could be forgotten if Judge Williams chose not to file a complaint.